Back in the 80s, this guy got a case of appendicitis, and it led him to becoming one of the first civilians to lay eyes on the Australian government's UFO files. An interested UFO researcher, Bill Chalker, found it almost impossible to lay eyes on these files until he found himself bedridden with a bit of time on his hands.
What the hell? I'll start doing a ringing campaign to the Department of Defence and keep it up until I got a response.
Bill finally got access, and when he made his way in to look at them, they were dragged out in these large postal sacks. What he found in them, once they were declassified, he says a lot.
And that was a file that referred to a report that was written in 1954 by a Melbourne-based nuclear physicist who had a security clearance. He concluded that a residue of the data represented evidence of extraterrestrial craft.
Most UFO reports have mundane causes, but Bill was interested in the 3 to 4% that were unexplainable, like a UFO sighting from a military base in 1973.
So he had two separate witnesses to what appears to be the same event, one by the deputy commander of the base, and he observes what appeared to be an object hovering over the mountains and then seen to flick off at high speed. There was a separate report from an Australian fire captain working on the base. He observes a dish-shaped object with a sort of a satin ring shape around the bottom.
Unidentified objects flying around the sky above a super secret military base in the middle of the Cold War.
There was intense interest by both sides in the Cold War, the United States on the one hand, the Soviets on the other, to try to understand what the level of their technologies were with regard to space.
In the 90s, after the Cold War wrapped, those files were all sent off to the National Archives, and the RAAF stopped investigating reports of UFOs.
You can't make the logic leap to say that because I can't explain it, what I'm seeing is a threat to national security.
Government investigations into UFOs never really kicked off again in Australia, but people like Bill Chalker have kept searching for some explanation of inexplicable reports of things in the sky.
There's something worthwhile that's been recurring that would benefit from serious scientific engagement.
Follow Expanse Uncropped on the ABC Listen app.